number of people mobilized and the way you use that mobilization for confrontation both require leadership. That's why I'm talking to you. That's why you're here. I hope some of you want to be those leaders in mobilizing and confronting. Now let me tell you, you're going to mobilize and you're going to confront, and things are not going to change just right away. Because they're used to that. They know how to deal with that. So let's talk about how they respond when they're under pressure. Just like I said, deer, they respond certain ways when they are afraid or when they scent an enemy or a potential enemy. They have certain behaviors. And they're very good at those behaviors. No matter how much you know about deer, they're better at being deer than you will ever be. Well, politicians are better at being politicians than you will ever be. They do basically three things, although not all of them do the first one. But if they do it, they will do it first, and that is they will threaten you. Now, in some cases and in some places, threats are very real, like harm to body, harm to family, harm to business. That doesn't happen that much in this country, though when I taught in Bolivia, that meant a lot different to them, where things do get busted, people do get killed, and women do get raped for political purposes. If you don't think that that is a political tool, then you do not understand the left. Because they know that violence is a political tool. And the right does too, what the press calls the right, which we would call other forms of the left. Even me, when I ran against John Chichester, 1 year after he beat the snot out of me, 1 year afterwards, his brother, who is Commonwealth's attorney in my county to this day, caused a neighboring Commonwealth's attorney to have me investigated on campaign violations. I got a call out of the blue from a state trooper investigating me. A few weeks later, when this same state trooper, a reasonably nice guy, he and his buddy were arresting me. They were sitting in my office, sipping my water, filling out the paperwork for my arrest. 2 first-class misdemeanors. That's up to a year in jail, each count a $1,000 fine, max, for so-called campaign violations. While they were sitting there filling out the papers to arrest me, I had not yet been arrested because I hadn't signed the papers. Tyler Whitley of the Richmond Times-Dispatch, who's here, I saw him buzzing around today, called my office to ask for my comment on the arrest that had not yet taken place. They had leaked it to the press. When I demanded to know who it was, and Tyler just, of course, laughed at me and said, "I'm not telling you that." He just said, "Let's just say somebody wants you dead." It was front page news. It was not front page in Richmond, but my local paper picked it up the next day. It was front page, top of the fold, across the fold, news of my arrest and charges. 3 times I was front page news. Even here, political threats can be real. But most times, political threats are just threats. That's not how we do things around here. If you keep it up, I'm going to vote against you. You're hurting your own cause. If you don't back off, nobody up here is going to work with you anymore. I'm going to tell the press you're a troublemaker. Slam, bang. Now, when you hear any of this or any version of that, it could be in a soft, gentle voice, it could be in a loud, screaming southern drawl. It sounds better than louder. Even when I do this imitating politicians in the north, they always end up sounding like southerners. I don't know why. It just sounds better. You're hurting your own cause. We'll vote against you for sure. You keep it up. What's that question I want you to ask yourself? How does a politician in the political class benefit if I believe it? If I believe he's going to vote against me if I don't back off, what do I got to do? Back off, man. What did he give me for backing off? Nothing. That's a win for him, man. That's what he wants. I went away, he gave me nothing. You see how that works? Okay, let's say you're a knucklehead or a troublemaker. They threaten you. You say, well, you do what you want. But we want your vote on this bill. And then you go and call all the people and you double the pressure as best you possibly can. Can you believe what this guy said? Not only is he not going to vote for liberty, like he promised to in the campaign, he says because of us taking our liberty to petition him, he's going to vote against liberty. And if that don't make you mad, I don't know what you're doing. We need to get twice as many people pressuring him now. Okay? Not all of them will threaten. Many people, for example, Bill Howe, will almost never do threats. They will immediately go to the second thing they will do, which is explanations. What does explanation sound like? I'm really with you. You just don't understand. That's not the political reality. This is the best we can do right now. We don't want to seem too extreme. We don't want to be viewed as radicals. The Speaker won't let the bill come up for a vote. The Governor will veto it. The courts will strike it down. We'll fix it next year. We don't want to burn the house down. You need to get more support first, then we can do it. It's inevitable. There's nothing we can do to stop it. Half a loaf is better than nothing. And then there's two of my favorites. I can never decide which is my real favorite. Number one is, if we did what you wanted, we'd get something worse. Now, if you actually break that down, what that's saying is the left and the statists have the votes to take away our liberty and our money, but because they're basically nice guys and we're not making too much trouble, they're letting us keep it. Friends, the days of the statists and the liberals have the votes to take away your money and your freedom, they're taking it. And the reason they haven't taken more is because right now they don't have the votes. And then my other favorite, almost always said with a whine, but we'll lose. Well, yeah, probably. Rome was not built in a day. Socialism was not erected in America overnight. And it will not be undone overnight. But it will never be undone if we never vote on it. Right. Okay, now understand, these explanations may come from the politician, they may come from his staff, they may come from lobbyists, they may come from citizen activists who've been doing this for years, honey, and bless your heart, I know how it works down there. And I'm with you, and I understand, but you're really making them mad, and we don't want to be seen as radicals, because they're going to do something worse if we try to do what you want. But honey, I'm with you. And this lady, bless her heart, she really believes those things. She really believes what they've told her, because she is not serving you, she has become a servant of them. All right? These messages may come in various forms.
Media.
Oh yeah, in the media, you bet. Absolutely. Skip who the messenger is, get to that question. If I believe this message, how does the politician and political class benefit? This is the best we can do. Oh, then I should sit down, shut up, and stay home. That's not the political reality. Then I should sit down, shut up, and stay home. But we'll lose. Well, then I guess I should sit down, shut up, and stay home. We'll fix it next year. Well, then I should sit down, shut up, and stay home until next year. At which point they'll tell you that's not the political reality. Okay, they threaten you. They've explained it to you. You kept pressuring them. Are they done? No, now they try to buy you off. Host an event. We'll explain it to your people together. I'll come to your Tea Party rally and show them what a great person you are. Join my Citizens Advisory Committee. Oh, you heard that one. Lead my Citizens Advisory Committee. You'll be my conscience on the Second Amendment. State Senator, Attorney General, Governor, I'm not thinking of any individuals, these are just names to me, comes to your house, puts his arm around your eyes. Jay, you guys are so lucky to have him. You don't know, he's my conscience on all things about liberty, and he's helped keep the country free. Now, excuse me, I got to go see the big boys downtown and get some more money, but y'all have a nice day. See you at night. Hey, if that's not enough, they might offer to hire them, to work on their campaigns, work on their staff. Those of you that are citizens activists, you're already spending more time and probably money than either you or your spouse is comfortable with your spending. How many of you are spending too much time or money on politics, in your opinion? How many are spending too much time or money in your spouse's opinion? How many of you are that spouse? So now they're offering to pay for what you were doing before. And hey, that's pretty attractive, especially if you want to do it. And then the first time you go, it might even be for a pretty decent person. But then you start becoming kind of attached to the money. And the second person you work for might not be so solid. And the next thing you know, you're a pure hack. Here's the deal. If you give in at any part in this process, and I got to close with this, and then very quickly, the biggest lie, the biggest myth in politics. You get in at any part of this process. Instead of being a grassroots leader, telling the politician what he or she must do, you become the politician's representative to the grassroots, telling them what they must settle for. Instead of being a grassroots leader, telling the politician what he must do, you become the politician's representative to the grassroots, telling us what we must settle for. You trade a small piece of power for access. And if you're any good, it will be offered to you. I guarantee it. Now, out of time, I've got 50 other things to teach, and I'm not going to teach 49, but I'm going to teach you this. The greatest lie, the biggest myth in politics is based on this. Write this thing down. This is not the greatest lie, the biggest myth. This is what sets it up. You must understand this. There are two seasons to politics. Legislative season, election season. Okay? Legislative season is when they do things. Election season is when we get the chance to do them back. Okay? You've already heard me say this, but I'm going to say it again. As much as possible, there must be a price for bad political behavior. You must prove to the politicians that the legislative season, the election season, are glued together and they cannot separate the two. That is how you become feared. If you're not feared, you will not be politically respected. If you only work in the legislative season and you work only for Team R in the election season, you will be like this. Bang! Now they're shooting Mark. Bang! Mark didn't get hurt. Joe get hit? No, nobody got hit. Bang! Bang! Nobody gets hit. What do they figure out pretty soon? You're shooting blanks, man. They can learn to live with that. Like some money dogs, they might even learn to like that. That is what our side has taught the Republicans over the last 15 years. We're shooting blanks. Do what you want. We won't take it out on you in the election season. That changed this year. It's got to keep changing.